All right, I'm gonna make a video. If you've seen my short, Come From the Short at all that I made, I'm gonna make a full video going over, the cars that I looked at before this car, for my Cadillac, things I considered, what I like about this car, what I dislike, what I liked about the other cars I looked at, and the reasons why I didn't go with it. Instead, I went with the Cadillac ATS-V. Starting off, I'm going to start off with the pros of this car. I think dollar for dollar, this thing is, you can't beat it. $35,000 for this car, like what, a year and a half ago. Fully optioned, minus carbon fiber package. It's a jack of all trades. These cars, a lot of people think they can't, handle well for some reason. This was built for the track. This is a track car. This is faster around the rings, tracks and all that, than its competitors, which is crazy for a Cadillac. But Cadillac's always been doing that. I slept on Cadillac, so I understand why people sleep on them, but I've really opened my eyes. These things can handle. Alpha chassis especially, which is what this is on, and the ATSV I think is on it as well, and the Camaros. These things are just animals. Suspension is just set up for it. It's a very quick track car. It handles perfect. You can really feel it. And they're also really good for straight line performance, so that's cool too. That's more my forte. But when I want to, take a turn here and there fast, I can. And it's just, since it's built for the track, it's overbuilt for straight line, as in cooling is really good. Everything's air to water cooled, so heat exchangers all over the front. They utilize all the space. I just really enjoy the engineering GM did on this car, and its big brother ATSV as well. But the reason why I went with the ATSV is I didn't want to spend an insane amount of money personally. This is meant to be a daily car. The CTSV does make sense, but it just doesn't make sense in terms of dollars. It's a really expensive car still. They are great cars, and I would get one. But if I'm getting a daily, I want something that's, high value, does good on turns, daily driving, makes some power. So, and the looks, I think this hit the nail on the head for everything for me. And it's not expensive. I prefer to spend my big bucks like that, even though I'd love to have a CTSV. I think if I'm spending around 65, 70K, even 55,000, I think they're at now, but at the time they were like 65, 70. I'd rather get like a C706, something of that nature. I want a coupe again. I had a Mustang before this one. I wouldn't mind getting back into the Mustangs. I think I'd get an S650 this time around, and I don't know. I think the cars I'm looking at is a C706 and S650 personally, for like a second, go faster car. This is meant to be like my daily, so it's not going to get big turbos. It's not going to get none of that. I thought about it. It's just not smart. It's perfect. It runs great how it is. It looks phenomenal. The interior is perfect. I can have, gosh dang it, I can have both my car seats. Me and my wife sit comfortably in here. Plenty of room. People complain about room in this car. I'm 6'2" and like 216 pounds, and I fit very comfortably in this car in both seats. I don't know. Everybody has their preferences. I don't sit all the way back either. I'm not like, gangster leaning in the whip. I like to sit more upright and closer because, I don't know, it's a powerful car. I'm not trying to be leaning back while, driving it. But, it's all preference. Can't really knock people on it too much. But anyways, yeah. So what drew me to this really is the power these things can make with minimal mods. Like, I already went over the build list. That's really it. I don't lie on anything. I try to be as transparent as possible. It's just, I haven't put a lot of money into it realistically, and it makes great power, like 660 area. I need a dyno. It's just kind of hard, having a family in the Army. I'm in the Army, so a lot of my time's taken away. It's just hard to do it. And at the time of this video, there's a government shutdown, so I don't want to blow my money and not get paid and, you know, be in the hole, digging in the savings and all that. So I'll have a dyno video and post those numbers up eventually. But I keep getting sidetracked. I just love the body lines on this car. Everything looked great. I like the black. I really wish I could have found a white or blue one, preferably white, but it's okay. I have plans to change this. I don't know if I'm going to do paint yet or wrap, but I'm going to do either midnight purple or a really nice pearlescent white. I am going to do it. It's just, I don't know the time frame on that yet. I just don't want to be that guy that says, you know, da-da-da, and never does it. But I'll nail that one later once it's actually set in stone. But yeah, these cars, just when I saw a picture of these, I love the look. It attracted me immediately, and seeing what it could do with bolt-ons, like these were running like in the 9s, low 10s all day long with full weights. Some cars have weight out. We're running faster, obviously. It's just bang for the buck, in my opinion. You can't beat this. There's not many cars that can do it. People will argue, you know, B58, S55, etc. But with the stock turbos on those cars, it's not hanging with one of these. Granted, those are easier and have more top end potential. I'll give it that. But like I said, this is meant to be a daily car. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have, you know, dump money into it to make it, you know, semi-quick. This was just the easiest route. I love the car, love the whole, I love everything about it. I can drive this every day comfortably like I've been and not get bored of it. I also think it aged beautifully. Like this stands out. Like I might be biased about it, but I think it stands out a lot. Let me unhook my phone so we can actually take some steps around instead of staying in the same spot and hearing me yap so much. But I just love this front end. I just love the body lines, that vent. I think the headlights are nice. I need to restore that one on the left. But, you know, 10-year-old car. It's going to have its imperfections. So the cars I was looking at before this, you know, the S4, that was the second runner-up, and it was very close. I would have gotten an S4 100% if I had the funds at the time. I test drove one. I fell in love with it, I ain't gonna lie to you. That would make a great daily. It could have went both ways. If I don't know. It's just the interior was really nice on those. Everything was Arnie digital. It's just a nice car. I can't lie. It has a good all-wheel drive system, which is perfect, you know. But this car swayed me a lot, so I just changed my mind, went with one of these instead. But honestly, if I went with the Audi S4, the B9, or even the Audi S5, the four-door, I would have been happy still. But I am very happy I got this car. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about the Audis. I ain't gonna lie. The S4, S5, there's nothing really bad about them. The only thing was price. The maintenance cost was insane, and I DIY everything, so it was still expensive DIYing it. So that kind of threw me through a loop a little bit. And then parts for those cars are really expensive, like really expensive. And they're slower. I mean, granted, like I said, I wasn't hunting speed, but I did want something that could make 600 plus in my daily reliably, because that's like that level where you can take it out, have fun, but you don't have to like have a headache about everything. But that's really it. I loved everything else about them. Then, like I said, the 340, 440. Didn't like the interior too much on those. The exterior, you have to have the M Sport package, or otherwise it's not a pretty car. Obviously you can model them and stuff. I'm not saying you can't make them good. I'm just saying like stock. Then, like I said, the F80 market was just insanely cooked at the time. And then, you know, Chevy SS, hard to find. So the list was short. There's not many options. I also wanted to stay American. I think American cars are the easiest to work on and also the easiest to obtain parts for. And they're not picky, like electrical wise and all that. Like you can just usually get away with a lot. Now German cars and stuff, because I've worked on a lot of different platforms. I install parts and stuff for people, so I've had my fair share of working on almost every car, like performance oriented, that people usually buy and run, like the average car person. They're just JDM reminds me a lot of American car. They have their quirks though, like their suspension setup is kind of a pain in the butt because there's just so many things connected. Like I didn't really enjoy doing that stuff on those kind of cars. I didn't really look at JDM though. I'm definitely not a KDM guy either, so those weren't even in my scope. European cars, you gotta have some real patience. Them things is not it on working on them. Like, I don't want to say they're hard, it's just tedious. And then working on this car, I think is not hard. A lot of people think it is. I personally don't think so. But yeah, that's the cars I was looking at before. It's been a while, so I can't really dive too deep on it anymore like I could have back then. And then the cars I would swap now, not, obviously is a little different a year and a half ago, but cars I would consider would be a good like purchase instead of the ATS-V. Everybody's gonna hate me for this. I think the G80 M3 is actually a really nice car. It's too expensive in my opinion. It would definitely be something I wouldn't get now. That would be something you'd get like after it depreciated quite a bit. I think that car is gonna be one like this car because the G80 platform is very good. But you gotta think about it. This car is 10 years old. So 10 years ago, it would do what it does now. Obviously, it has more R&D, parts being made, etc. But this is a 10-year-old platform that does super good. This, in my opinion, was the G80 of the era. They just went under the radar because it's a Cadillac, let alone a V6 Cadillac. So it is what it is. People have stigmatisms against an American V6 for some reason, even though they can make some real good V6s, like this one, for example. Can't convince some people are just stuck on that. Can't convince them. It's whatever. But I do think the G80, this is the G80 of that era, and the new, obviously, the new like super sedan is the G80 cars. They're pretty goddamn good. I can't lie. Some of the owners questionable. Some of them are very cocky, but I've met quite a few of them that are actually pretty humble, and they have some insane builds. Like Kano that I met up in Omaha at the events, like DA roll races, 1320s meets, etc. I've seen his car full bolt-on stock turbos. Insane and pretty quick. And then now he's single turbo built. Insane. It's an insane car. I can't lie. I would never single turbo. I think I'd keep it stock turbos, full bolt-on ethanol. And they don't need a whole lot like these cars, They're similar in that aspect. Is a couple bolt-ons, throw some ethanol, and they make great power. Like this thing, max effort turbo will make around 660, maybe 680 pushing it. And then the G80s, I think pushing them hard, max effort one makes them around 750. So it makes quite a bit more power, but very close. The thing that limits it to this one is the stock turbo size, but obviously, if and could would, you know what I mean? It's just how it comes. So you got to take it like that. I think the G80 is probably one of the cars I would get. I think the M340s are also really nice as a daily, but like I said, it's just I want something over 600, and it takes a lot of money to get there on a B58. What else? I would still get a Chevy SS. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even though that takes a lot of money as well, they're just so nice. I love them. They're such an underrated car. I would get a CTS-V V2 as well. It's a little dated, but I think those are great cars as well. Not many sedans to choose from that are dailyable, reliable, and could be over 600 wheel. Those are probably only the couple, cars I'd get. I'd still get an Audi S4 as well, the B9. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm set in stone on this car. This is definitely gonna be my main daily for the foreseeable future. And then the cars, that I plan on getting, I already mentioned, is another Mustang or a C706. Obviously, there's some time in between when I actually pick one up and thinking about it now. So it could change to something else. I'm sure I'll make a video on that whenever it comes time. Trying to do this YouTube thing, social media stuff, to see where it takes me. Never know. Because I really enjoy this stuff, car stuff, and I figure if I'm doing it, might as well just, document it, record it. Maybe people will like it as well. Yeah, those are just the features of the car that I really like. And then, the cars that I looked at for this, I don't really regret my decision, but I wouldn't be mad if I would have went, another route like an S4 or something at the time. Now, this is my baby. Like, I love it. It surprised me in a lot of ways. I've been in some cars that should have whipped my ass, and then I've lost. I lose in this thing. I post both. Sometimes I go to events and I don't take an L at all, and then sometimes I go to an event and I just get my ass whooped. So that's just part of the game. I'm not one. Maybe back in my younger days in my Mustang, I would chase numbers, power. But honestly, there's always going to be someone faster. You go up a notch and you're going to be racing guys at that notch and above you. It just never ends. So I try to get out of that rat race, I'm just not in it anymore. I win, I lose, I lose. I don't really like racing for money. That kind of ruins the fun, in my opinion. Drama, stress. This is supposed to be like my fun thing, my fun hobby. But yeah, I don't want to keep rambling. I don't want to make this video super long. I got a bad habit of that. Yeah, just comment like what you guys would like kind of like content from me. Anything you want to see from the ATS-V. Me explain like some mods. I did do a turbo inlet install. Unfortunately, YouTube took it down for some reason. They said copyright. I did have music playing in the background, so maybe that's why. I unfortunately didn't save the video, so sorry guys. That's why that video is not on here anymore. I could go over, like, point you guys in a direction of how to do it. Obviously, I'm not gonna do it again, but I could show you. It's not as hard as people make it seem, but yeah, that's something I could do. Just let me know what you guys are interested in. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm gonna start pumping out some content, but doesn't hurt to throw in some suggestions. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the video, guys. I'm just rambling. I'm a yapper, so I can talk all day about cars. I'm gonna try and make a video here soon with all my buddies' cars and explain their stuff. They got some really nice stuff going on in their car world. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, leave that comment. Let me know. See you guys next time.